Have you ever felt the sting of public disrespect, a tactless remark that leaves you feeling undervalued and humiliated? In those moments, the question arises, how do you respond, not only to maintain your dignity but also to earn respect, even from those who habitually disregard others' worth? You're not alone in this, we've all experienced such moments. The fascinating truth is that you have more control than you might think over how you handle them. This exploration dives into effective tips and psychological techniques, inspired by the timeless wisdom of Stoic philosophy. These strategies won't just help you navigate difficult situations calmly, they'll also help you gain respect from those around you, transforming uncomfortable moments into opportunities to affirm your self-worth. The goal isn't about aggressive comebacks, it's about calmly and steadfastly controlling yourself, demonstrating that you know your value and won't be shaken by cheap remarks or undermining actions. First and foremost, first impressions matter. First impressions are the foundation of how you are perceived, and interestingly, it's often less about what you say and more about how you present yourself. Small actions, like standing up to greet someone or maintaining consistent eye contact, can have a huge impact on how others perceive you. Picture this, you're at an important networking event. Someone walks into the room, scans the crowd, and makes their way toward you. They extend their hand for a greeting, but instead of standing up, you remain seated, offering a quick glance at their hand before shaking it. The result? You've unintentionally conveyed a lack of confidence and signaled that this interaction might not matter much to you. The Stoics understood this deeply. They recognized that simple gestures like standing up and maintaining eye contact during a greeting aren't just good manners, they're powerful expressions of confidence and self-awareness. Rising to shake someone's hand subtly communicates equality, readiness, and mutual respect. This aligns with a key Stoic principle: how you present yourself reflects your values and shapes how others see you. I once attended a professional seminar where networking was the primary goal. Among the attendees, one individual stood out. Whether greeting a senior executive or thanking a waiter for refilling his coffee, he always stood up, made eye contact, and engaged fully. It wasn't flashy or overdone, but it left an impression. People respected him not because of what he said but because of how he carried himself. He projected confidence and sincerity with every interaction, effortlessly commanding respect. In contrast, I noticed another attendee who remained seated during every greeting. He didn't mean to come across as disinterested, it was simply a habit. Yet, this seemingly minor action created an unspoken barrier. People unconsciously took him less seriously, even though he was just as capable as anyone else in the room. This highlighted an essential truth: standing up isn't just about politeness, it's about acknowledging the other person's value and asserting your own. The way you communicate and behave in your first interactions with someone can significantly shape their subsequent attitudes and actions towards you. When you project confidence, sincerity, and respect, you are more likely to be treated with the same qualities in return. The lesson is clear: rising to greet someone isn't just an act of courtesy, it's a declaration of how you value yourself and others. This is where Stoicism comes in. The Stoics didn't focus on things beyond their control, they maximized what they could influence. In this case, it's your behavior, your presentation, and the way you communicate your worth through small yet meaningful actions. To adopt this lesson in your life, start with everyday encounters. Whether you're meeting someone in the office, at a cafe, or even during a virtual meeting, make sure you're fully present. Stand up when greeting someone, maintain eye contact, and project confidence with your body language. These simple gestures not only earn you respect but also emphasize your inherent value, a reflection of Stoic principles in action. Remember, first impressions aren't just about appearances, they're about showcasing your confidence, self-respect, and the respect you have for others. This is the essence of what Stoicism teaches us: live with intention, pay attention to the small things, and let those actions define who you are. So, the next time you meet someone, rise to the occasion, look them in the eye, and let your actions speak louder than words. Secondly, consider this: if someone interrupts you in public, fix them with a firm and determined look. When someone interrupts you during a conversation, especially in a public setting, it can feel downright frustrating. You're trying to make a point, and suddenly someone jumps in, derailing your train of thought. The natural reaction for many is to get angry or respond sharply, but that often only escalates the situation and makes you appear less composed. Stoicism teaches us that true strength doesn't come from controlling others, it comes from controlling ourselves. In this situation, a simple, steady gaze can convey a stronger message than any words. Instead of reacting impulsively, pause, look directly at the person who interrupted you with a calm yet focused gaze. Let the silence speak for you. This communicates that their behavior is inappropriate and you won't tolerate being disrespected. This not only demonstrates confidence but also encourages the other person to reflect on their actions. Someone who frequently interrupts others may have difficulty listening actively or understanding the importance of allowing others to express their thoughts uninterrupted. They may be more focused on expressing their own opinions or interjecting their ideas into the conversation. I remember once, during a family dinner, I was sharing a funny story when a relative interrupted to share their own. At first, I felt a bit flustered and awkward, but instead of cutting them off mid-sentence, I stopped, looked at them calmly, and waited. The silence lasted only a few seconds but carried more weight than any words could have. They quickly realized they'd interrupted at the wrong moment, corrected themselves, and allowed me to continue. The rest of the evening was smooth, and I regained control of the conversation without any drama. This strategy works particularly well in public or group settings. By staying composed and in control, you naturally draw attention. Your presence becomes stronger, and you don't need to raise your voice or argue to reclaim your space in the conversation. Stoicism teaches us not to let others' actions dictate our emotions. Instead, we use tools like body language and calmness to steer the situation without losing our dignity. The gaze is just the beginning. Once the interruption is addressed, politely but firmly resume your point. A simple phrase like, "Let me pick up where I left off," not only asserts your right to speak but also maintains respect for everyone involved. Remember, the goal isn't to embarrass the other person but to set a clear expectation that respect in communication is non-negotiable. What's remarkable about this approach is that it requires no aggression or intimidation. Just stay calm, avoid showing anger, and let your actions speak volumes. When others see you handle interruptions with confidence and intention, they'll not only respect you more but also reflect on their own behavior. Stoicism reminds us that true power lies in maintaining self-control, even in challenging moments. So, next time someone interrupts you, don't lose your cool, stand firm, hold your gaze, and show others that you are someone worth listening to. This isn't just about earning respect, it's about expressing your self-worth in a way that's both meaningful and lasting. Thirdly, when someone tries to humiliate you with a joke in a group of friends, adopt this strategy. When someone in your group of friends deliberately tries to humiliate you with a joke, your first instinct might be to feel embarrassed or upset. But remember, the way you respond will determine the entire dynamic of the situation. This is where Stoic philosophy can be an incredibly powerful tool, helping you stay calm and take control. Responding to such situations with grace, resilience, and self-assurance can significantly enhance your social standing and overall well-being. Someone who makes jokes at the expense of others may be seeking attention, validation, or a sense of superiority within the group. By remaining calm and composed, you avoid reinforcing their behavior and deny them the satisfaction of seeing you upset. Once, during a casual meetup with old friends, one of them decided to mock me in front of everyone by retelling an embarrassing story from our school days. At first, I felt my face heat up, and my immediate reaction was to fire back. But instead of letting my emotions take over, I recalled a Stoic principle: what doesn't harm your essence isn't worth your concern. I smiled, pretended not to have heard the story, and calmly asked my friend to repeat it, maintaining a composed and slightly curious demeanor. Here's the fascinating part: when the person had to retell the joke, its impact significantly diminished. Not only that, but the group started to sense the awkwardness of forcing someone to recount a joke that wasn't landing well anymore. The loud laughter from earlier faded, and the storyteller began to fumble, realizing their attempt at humiliation had backfired. The key here is that asking someone to repeat their joke not only reduces its impact but also shows that you're unshaken. This approach allows you to maintain your composure while subtly highlighting the other person's inappropriate behavior. More importantly, it shifts the dynamic in your favor without resorting to retaliatory tactics or losing your dignity. By choosing this path, you send a powerful message: you're someone with inner strength who won't let small provocations dictate your emotions. This is one of the core lessons of Stoic philosophy, maintaining calm and control in the face of minor life challenges. To apply this principle effectively, remember that you don't need to react instantly to every action or word. Pause, take a breath, and think. Use silence as a powerful weapon. Silence isn't passive, it creates space for the other person to realize their mistake. Finally, when you do respond, do it with calm confidence. A simple request for them to repeat what they said, spoken in a neutral tone, can have far more impact than arguing or fighting back. Stoicism teaches us that our reactions to uncomfortable situations reflect our character and inner values. Every time you stay calm and refuse to be drawn into negativity, you not only gain the respect of others but also reinforce your own self-respect. The strategy of requesting someone to repeat a joke that intends to be humiliating can effectively diminish its impact because it disrupts the flow of the interaction and forces the person to reevaluate their actions. When the person has to retell the joke, it loses its spontaneity and impact. It becomes evident that the joke is intentional and may not be as funny as they initially thought. So, the next time someone tries to mock you in front of others, remember you have complete control over how the story ends. With calmness and clarity, you'll always come out on top. By understanding Stoic principles and implementing these techniques, you can turn potentially embarrassing situations into opportunities to display your resilience, emotional intelligence, and inner strength. Remember, the way you handle adversity is a reflection of your character and can have a significant impact on how others perceive you. Moving on, the fourth tip involves when someone is trying to provoke you or make you angry, use a very effective psychological technique. Have you ever faced a situation where someone deliberately tried to provoke you or hurt you, and instead of reacting immediately, you managed to handle it gracefully? Imagine this: you're at a family gathering, and someone makes a pointed remark about a failure in your career in front of everyone. It's the kind of comment that feels like a dagger to your heart, digging into a pain you've been trying to move past. Suddenly, all eyes are on you, waiting to see how you'll respond. Instead of reacting defensively or trying to explain yourself, you take a brief pause, stay calm, and ask, "Hey, does anyone know a good bakery nearby? I was thinking about picking up something for the next get-together." That simple question instantly changes the energy in the room. The person trying to provoke you is left flustered, unsure of how to proceed, and the conversation quickly shifts to a new, more neutral topic. People who frequently try to provoke others may have underlying issues such as insecurity, jealousy, or a desire for attention. These behaviors often stem from a need to feel superior or powerful in social interactions. This strategy of asking an unrelated question is more than just a clever tactic, it's a way of reclaiming control over your emotions and the situation. By interrupting the flow of provocation, you redirect attention away from the negative energy and refuse to give the instigator the satisfaction of seeing you upset. It's a perfect example of practicing Stoic principles, focusing on what you can control and refusing to let external circumstances dictate your peace of mind. As Epictetus wisely said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. The brilliance of this technique lies in its ability to derail negativity without confrontation. A well-timed, unrelated question disrupts the instigator's train of thought, making it nearly impossible for them to continue their attempt to provoke you. At the same time, it allows you to maintain your composure and project a sense of confidence and self-control. This is a powerful way to command respect in any social situation. To make this approach work, it's essential to keep your tone and demeanor natural. If it seems forced or calculated, it might come across as insincere. Choose a simple, neutral question or comment that feels organic to the moment, something about a nearby restaurant, a recent event, or even a casual observation. The goal is not to dodge the situation awkwardly but to shift the conversation with subtlety and ease. This technique doesn't just work in the moment, it builds long-term resilience and inner strength. By refusing to be dragged into emotional conflicts, you demonstrate to yourself and others that you're in control. People around you will notice this composure and come to respect you for it. More importantly, using this strategy is a step toward cultivating the core Stoic value of focusing on what you can control. You can't dictate how others behave, but you can decide how you respond. In doing so, you reinforce your sense of self-worth and send a clear message: you will not allow others to undermine your peace or dignity. This technique is a way of reclaiming control over your emotions and the situation when someone tries to provoke you. Next time you find yourself in a situation where someone's words are aimed to provoke or hurt, remember this approach: ask a simple, unrelated question and observe how the dynamic changes. You'll not only diffuse the tension but also feel empowered by your ability to rise above it. As Marcus Aurelius wisely reminded us, true power comes from maintaining peace of mind regardless of external circumstances. By mastering this, you'll not only handle challenges with grace but also elevate the respect others have for you in any situation. The ability to remain composed and unaffected by the provocations of others is a valuable skill that can significantly enhance your personal and professional life. Finally, let's consider the fifth and final tip: walking away. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you felt undervalued, disrespected, or even completely ignored? It's not a pleasant feeling, but sometimes the best way to protect your self-respect is to choose to walk away. Stoic philosophy teaches us that respect isn't something you can demand, it's something you cultivate by knowing your own worth. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness, it's a demonstration of strength and self-worth. Let me share a story with you. A friend of mine, Sarah, was an exceptional creative professional. One day, she joined a major project at her company. However, instead of being recognized for her relentless efforts, she was constantly ridiculed by her manager in front of the team. They would interrupt her in meetings, dismiss her ideas, and make her feel as if her contributions didn't matter. At first, Sarah tried harder, believing she needed to prove herself. But after months of frustration, she realized she didn't need to beg for respect from people unwilling to give it. A pivotal meeting changed everything. Once again, her idea was brushed aside without any reason. This time, Sarah calmly closed her laptop, stood up, and said she would put her energy into a place where it was valued. She walked out of the meeting, leaving her colleagues stunned. That same day, she submitted her resignation, not out of anger but as an act of self-preservation. A few months later, Sarah joined another company in a leadership role where she was not only respected but celebrated for her talents. Sarah recognized that she deserved to be in an environment where her talents were valued and respected. She understood that her self-worth was not contingent upon the approval or recognition of others. Sarah's story isn't just about leaving, it's about choosing where to invest your energy. Walking away isn't a sign of weakness, on the contrary, it demonstrates that you understand your value and refuse to stay in an environment that undermines it. Stoic philosophy teaches us that the only thing we can truly control is how we respond to situations. While you can't force others to respect you, you can decide not to remain in a place where respect is absent. The most powerful part of walking away is that it's not about creating drama or proving a point, it's a personal decision, quiet but resolute. It's a way of telling yourself, I am worth more than this. Marcus Aurelius emphasized, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Staying in a disrespectful environment is choosing to let others diminish your value. Walking away allows you to redirect your energy towards opportunities and environments that align with your values and aspirations. It empowers you to create a life that is fulfilling and meaningful, rather than being trapped in a cycle of negativity and disrespect. So, how do you know when it's time to walk away? It's when you realize that all your efforts to build respect have been met with indifference, when you feel you're constantly fighting to be recognized. Don't wait until your self-esteem has been eroded. Listen to yourself, and if necessary, choose to leave, because being an absence that's respected is far better than being a presence that's diminished. Walking away is not about surrendering, it's about setting boundaries. Stoic philosophy teaches us not only to control our emotions but also to safeguard our sense of worth. The ability to walk away from disrespectful or toxic situations is an essential aspect of self-respect. By understanding your value and setting boundaries, you create a life that aligns with your principles and promotes your well-being. The next time you find yourself being devalued, remember that sometimes the most respectful action you can take is to leave the table where your worth isn't recognized. Respect isn't begged for, it's built by how you decide to treat yourself. By mastering the art of walking away, you not only protect your self-respect but also cultivate a life that is aligned with your values and aspirations. Walking away is a powerful affirmation of your self-worth and a declaration that you deserve to be in environments where you are valued, respected, and celebrated. Walking away is not a sign of defeat, it is a strategic decision to protect your well-being and create a life that is aligned with your values and aspirations. In essence, navigating disrespectful situations requires a blend of self-awareness, emotional control, and strategic action. By mastering first impressions, responding calmly to interruptions, diffusing humiliation with grace, redirecting provocative comments, and knowing when to walk away, you can cultivate a life of respect and dignity. Stoic philosophy provides a valuable framework for these strategies, emphasizing the importance of inner strength and control over external circumstances. Remember, respect isn't demanded, it's earned through consistent actions that reflect your self-worth and values. By embracing these principles, you can transform challenging encounters into opportunities for personal growth and resilience. I would love to hear about your journey and triumphs. Please hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and leave a comment below to share your story, your successes, and even the challenges you've overcome. If you're not sure what to comment, just write, "I can do it," to show that you've completed this session. Your engagement helps this community grow toward wisdom and the art of turning every challenge into an opportunity.